Paula, welcome, and
Thank you.
glad you're here.
Testing. I'm having faith that this works, and I think it does. And you know, that little story just reminded me. I'm Paula, by the way. Hi, everyone. And yeah, that little story with the little girl reminded me when I try to turn my TV on, if it doesn't work, I say, I guess God don't want me to watch TV today. If my car don't start, I think, I guess God don't want me to go to this place. So I think my faith is pretty strong. But one day, probably about 2 weeks ago, I was driving down the street and I had my daughter's vehicle because my daughter has gone to Massachusetts with my little Kia, which, you know, you can get to Massachusetts for $300. At least you could 3 months ago. And she went to Massachusetts for a basketball coach job for her old high school. So I'm driving around in her BMW, which uses a lot more gas, but I was supposed to have the front right tire changed. And I kept putting it off and procrastinating. And one day I was driving down La Cienega? Yes. And started out in West Hollywood when I felt this tire doing something funny. And I said, oh my God, I should have fixed this. So anyway, a sign lit up and it said, if you have a flat run tire, you can go less than 50 miles, but stop slowly. And I just knew, you know, it was getting bad. And first I was going to go to the 10, which, you know, you kind of get into some sketchy areas down there, you know. So I was getting a little nervous. And then honestly, I went into a panic because that tire sounded like it wasn't a flat run tire. Like it started making that flap, flap, flap noise, you know. So I started shaking and I was like, oh my God, God, I need your help now. And I'm telling you, I was emotional. I started crying and I looked over to the left and it said a tire and auto place. And you know, it don't sound like a miracle to you, but it was Saturday, 5 o'clock. So I didn't expect this to be open, but honestly, when I said, I need your help now, and I pulled into that place and I got out and I ran in and I said to a guy, you gotta help me. I have a flat tire and God told me to come here. And he said, we're closed. And I said, you gotta help me. I mean, I was so emotional, you know, because fear is what does it to me, you know. And I usually have faith, but this just happened so fast and I'm human. And he said, I think the guy's gone. And I looked down, it was like a long alleyway in a garage, but there was a man at the end of it. And I'm like waving and he comes up and I said, I hope you can fix my tire because I just asked God for help. And God said to come in here. And he said, calm down, calm down. And he looked at it and he said, well, I don't think I have flat run tires, but I have one that is just almost the same. You'll be all right with it. Yes, yes, please. Thank you. And I started crying because I was so grateful. Thank you, God. And I knew right away. And I said, this is amazing. God made you guys the angels today. Thank you so much, you know. So, you know, I have faith like that a lot. But what I'm realizing lately is, you know, I'm only human, but sometimes I'll be in traffic and I'm really usually cool. Somebody cuts me off and it's not that close. I'll be like, maybe they're in a rush to get their kids to school, you know. So I try to be kind. But there's been times where they scared me and I give them one of these and then say, why are you so angry? Because I was afraid. So 90% of the time I have full trust in God. And that's my testimony today.